Hi Aquarius, how's it going? I hope you're doing awesome today. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be doing a general reading for you. It's going to cover from now, end of June till the end of July, okay? I've already cleared the energy of the cards and shuffled, and I pulled 10 cards for a Celtic cross spread. I just have it in 2 rows, but this is a Celtic cross spread. And I also pulled an overall energy card, an overall energy reading message. Basically, what the overall energy of your reading is about, okay? Some of your cards came out upside down, so that just means you're getting extra protection from spirit. Always check your sun, moon, rising signs in case you have messages over there. If the messages repeat, I'll try and catch that and let you know. I believe spirit really wants us to get the messages if they repeat. This is the deck that I'm using today in case anyone is interested. It's a double, there's 2 decks in this box set. Okay, so let me just set up here, and let's get started. Your first card that came out is the 5 of Cups. It came out reversed. This card represents your current situation. So this is Scorpio energy. This card is represented by Scorpio in the zodiac. The 5 of Cups reversed can be about experiencing a personal setback. It's a card of acceptance. So it's a card of acceptance, moving on, finding peace, self-forgiveness. It's a card of contentment, seeing positives. Could be a card of stagnation, feeling stuck. Releasing emotional baggage, letting go of grief, letting go of guilt, letting go of regret, letting go of sorrow. This energy has come up in my past readings for you, Aquarius. So just make a note of that, okay? Moving forward, it could be a card of accepting help, healing, rejoining the world, releasing emotions. So you've recently suffered a personal setback or disappointment. You may worry that you are a failure and don't want to let others know you've taken the wrong path, or you may not be ready to admit it to others and are choosing to keep your feelings to yourself instead. And remember, Aquarius, this is a general reading, so only take it how it resonates and ignore the rest, okay? Now might be the time to open up. People around you might not see how much pain you're in right now, so don't be afraid to ask for help or talk to someone you trust, okay? We've all been there. If you feel guilty or ashamed about what happened, this card is asking you to forgive yourself and move on. You are releasing the full implications of the past, and you appreciate the lessons you've learned from the experience. You cannot undo the past. It's time to let go of what no longer serves you emotionally. You will be more hopeful about your future. You may be in a state of indecision. You're refusing to make your mind up about something or to face facts. But just because there have been past losses doesn't mean there can't be future gains. And if you continue in this negative state of mind, you'll only make things worse for yourself. This card could also indicate an out of proportion reaction to loss, real or imaginary, for the sake of melodrama or attention. And then what's crossing you or what's challenging you or your situation, or it could be what you're celebrating, you have the Moon card. So this is Pisces energy. This is a card of confusion. It's telling you you need to release any fears. This card represents fear, deception, anxiety, repressed emotions again, self-deception, inner confusion, blocked intuition. It's a card of a misunderstanding. Understanding and clarity is needed. You've been dealing with illusion, fears, and anxiety, and now the negative influences of these energies are subsiding. You're working through your fears and anxieties, understanding the impact they have on your life, and how you can free yourself from such limiting beliefs. This is the only liberating and transformational experience. You may try to bury these feelings even deeper within your subconscious so you can avoid your dark shadows. You may not be ready to face your emotions, pushing them to the side, pretending as if nothing is wrong. But eventually you'll have to deal with them head on. You may be receiving intuitive messages and psychic downloads, but are struggling to understand what they mean for you. You're being called to listen to your inner voice, not the voice of someone else. And pay attention to your dreams. Maybe keep a dream diary. This is how your subconscious messages will be relayed to you. Your soul is calling for help, trying to get your attention. You may have been ignoring your lunar needs, self-nurturance, artistic expression, and receptivity. The demands of the day, the masculine side, are overwhelming you, and you need time out to reconnect with your feminine side. You've allowed the pressures of the outside world to throw you out of balance, and you feel disconnected from your true self. It may be time to rest and reflect. This card warns of deceptions, dangerous emotional swings, and giving into fears. Tread carefully. It could also be a card that talks about regaining composure, and it could represent the truth. Let's keep going. Your third card is the Hermit. This is another major arcana card. It came out reversed. This card, this is your third card. It represents the basis of your situation or foundation. It's represented by Virgo. So this is a card that talks about, again, being paralyzed by fear, loneliness, isolation, recluse, being antisocial, feeling like you've lost your way, being reclusive, restrictive. It's a card of withdrawal, paranoia, rejection. It's also a card that talks about returning to society. This card warns of withdrawing too much or for too long or for the wrong reasons. Spending time alone in order to avoid people, putting off making decisions, or procrastinating is not going to serve you well in this case. You're not taking enough time for personal reflection. So Spirit, I would make a note of that because Spirit had just said it's time to rest and reflect. Okay? So you're not taking enough time for personal reflection, or you're taking too much time. If you're struggling if you're struggling to connect with your spiritual self, this card reversed encourages you to create more space to meditate and reflect. Go deeper into your feelings. Go deeper into your inner being and rediscover your greater purpose on this earth. You may have been so busy lately that you've forgotten to listen to your inner voice. Deep within your soul, search deep within your soul to help you find your way again, and focus on rebuilding yourself on a spiritual level. Or you may be taking this isolation thing too far. Don't underestimate the value of staying connected with others, even while you're going through your spiritual journey. Be careful you don't shut out your family and friends. In a relationship reading, this card can indicate an unwelcome isolation. You will need to respect each other's request for space, but also be there to support. If you're separated, you may be ready to explore a reconnection. Okay? The Hermit is reversed, is about loneliness, but it's also about saying that keeping busy can also be a form of denial. You may have been putting off giving yourself the solitude you need to sort out your life and the issues that you are confronting. It's time, or long past time, for you to engage in self-reflection, revisit your aims and goals, associations, relationships, career, and life path. You may want to you may want to withdraw to think things through. If this resonates, Spirit is saying stop avoiding it. Okay? And then your fourth card is the King of Swords reversed. This card represents your past, but is relevant to your current situation. This is either you or someone in your life, or a situation, male or female, in a general reading. But I think this is you, Aquarius. The King of Swords is represented by Aquarius in the zodiac. Okay? So, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just channeling the messages. They're not from me. The King of Swords reversed. I'll give you all the characteristics of the King of Swords, and you just take how it resonates. The King of Swords reversed could represent someone who is manipulative, cruel. He represents weakness, but he also represents quiet power and inner truth. He could represent a misuse of power, someone who is inhumane, irrational, a dictator, aggressive, power crazed. He could represent an absent father. He could represent a lack of structure, a lack of routine, someone who is judgmental, dishonest, controlling. But this king reversed, if this is you, Aquarius, he represents quiet power. Your power and authority comes from within. That's why Spirit wants you to go within and do some reflection. Okay, so my oldest son is Aquarius, and I totally see this with him. He does definitely represent quiet power. Your power and authority come from within. from your unwavering belief in yourself, your deep connection to your values, and your commitment to stand firm in your truth. You don't allow others to steer you off course, instead preferring to draw your energy from your higher self and connect with what truly matters to you. Sometimes the King of Swords can allude to a misuse of power. You may be using your ability to manipulate or persuade others to fulfill your personal needs, or you may be using your advanced intellect to make others feel inferior or disadvantaged. This reversed King of Swords is very intelligent and has only his personal interests in mind. Be careful, he might take advantage of you. A lack of decisiveness about where your best opportunities lie or what direction you want to go. You may be feeling lost or uncertain about your options. The King of Swords can be someone who is misguided. Could represent someone who is delaying decisions. The King of Swords can be someone who he indicates fickleness, using words as swords to wound. He represents gossiping, superficiality, playing one person against the other, or rigidity of opinions. He can represent a situation in which the people around you are hostile toward your ideas or your spiritual quest, and you may have to keep these matters to yourself. This king may use his impressive abilities to further his own agenda with no respect for ethics, standards, or ideals. He can be ridiculously judgmental and hold people in contempt if they don't behave or think as he deems appropriate or right. And then your immediate future, what's likely to happen very soon in your life, is the Page of Cups. Pages are messengers. So you may be receiving a message very soon. It could be about a loved one or a creative project, or you may be receiving a love note. This is the Page of Cups is represented by Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces in the zodiac. This card could represent a new romance coming into your life, or it could be a close friend. It could represent a happy surprise, receiving as a happy surprise. The Page of Cups represents innocence, your inner child, someone who's very sensitive, represents someone who's going in a new direction. It's telling you to check in with your inner voice. The Page of Cups is someone who is psychic, is receiving messages. You could have an admirer or a crush. The Page of Cups is someone who's very curious, courageous. It could represent creative opportunities. Someone who has their head in the clouds, receiving happy news. A Page of Cups can be volatile and aggressive, unreliable. So this card is telling you that creative inspiration often comes out of the blue and only when you are open to it. Your creative energy is flowing, and now the question is, how will you express it? Have an open and curious mind. Be open to anything. Embrace your inner child and believe that anything is possible. Explore a new facet of yourself. Explore your creative, emotional self. You may start a new art class or read books about how to express your feelings or learn more about developing your psychic abilities. Trust your intuition and be open to all the intuitive messages that are coming your way. You will receive an unexpected and pleasant surprise when the Page of Cups shows up. It could be related to the emotions or your intuition or a creative endeavor. This card could also represent the birth of a baby or an engagement or a marriage. And again, a new love interest might be coming into your life very soon, or you may receive an offer of a new project. This Page of Cups is a young person, male or female. Either you or someone in your life, could be a son or a daughter or a younger sibling. They may be bringing you a message about love. They may be getting engaged or married. There's it's a situation that holds an inherent emotional risk. The circumstances may be exciting yet scary at the same time. It could represent an elopement. Aquarius, I just did a daily message. I pull one card a day for a daily message for the collective. And it was the Six of Swords reverse. The Six of Swords reverse can represent an elopement, if you want to check that out. So someone you know may be eloping. Often the page suggests naivete or vulnerability, especially in matters of the heart. And if this page represents you, it says that you've already decided to take an emotional risk. You're willing to give it your all because you feel things will work out. Okay? The Page of Cups is sweet, sensitive, creative, a dreamer. She's intuitive and emotional. She loves openly and deeply. Maybe she gives a bit too much of herself and risks getting hurt. She's constantly being inspired and always on the verge of some new project or creation. Youthfulness, very imaginative. She represents a romantic proposal. So let's just keep going and see what else Spirit's saying. Your next message is the Seven of Swords. This card represents the outcome that you desire most in your situation. Aquarius, this is you again showing up in your reading. This is a card about flexibility, diplomacy, but it's also a card of deception, trickery, spying, theft, cheating, getting away with something, lies, betrayal, manipulation. This card could represent an enemy that is masquerading as a friend. So the Seven of Swords indicates the potential for thievery, sneaking about, and trickery. Someone involved in this situation has decided to use subterfuge to achieve their goals, which may or may not be honorable. A strategic plan has been devised and enacted and will likely be successful, at least as a means to an end. This card could represent unexpected misfortunes and setbacks, frustrations, but you're able to transform the situation. This card is talking about dangerous and risky behavior again. So, that's the second time Spirit is talking about that. I would definitely make a note of that, okay? This card indicates theft. You may be trying to get away with something and are sneaking around other people's backs, hoping to go undetected, but be aware anytime you use cunning or deception to gain an advantage over someone or something else, you're at risk of being found out, or you may be the victim of someone else's betrayal. Look out for sneaky behavior in others and listen to your intuition. You need to be strategic in what you do. You must prioritize what's important to you and direct your focus and attention on the few tasks that will move you closer to your goals. You may need to use shortcuts or the back door to get what you want. You may need to put yourself first to get what you want, even if it means letting others down. You may be trying to escape from a situation, okay? But you have the upper hand over a tricky situation. You still need to exercise caution, okay? This card urges caution in all dealings. Secretive action or indirect communications may be occurring behind your back. Be wary of overconfidence too. You may appear to be on top now, but being too cocky could do you in, okay? Discretion and discrimination are required, as are diplomacy and flexibility, okay? And then your self-image card, how you see yourself, is the Two of Cups, and it came out reversed. This card is represented by Cancer in the zodiac. So this is a card that talks about self-love. It talks about losing friendships, bullying. There's a disharmony. It's a card of distrust, withdrawal, separation, division, bad or broken communication, rejection, inequality. It could represent incompatibility, unhappy couples, arguments, breakups, how you see yourself. You may be giving yourself a lot of self-love at this time. Ending partnerships, divorce. At its essence, this card is about self-love. When you love yourself unconditionally, you accept and appreciate who you are, and you respect and honor the most authentic version of yourself. You welcome a life of happiness because you fundamentally believe you deserve it and you're right. When you come from a place of self-love, self-acceptance, and self-respect, you will have more fulfilling, loving relationships with others. If you don't love yourself, you'll end up projecting that lack onto others, becoming clingy and attached, attracting the wrong kinds of relationships to you, or worse, ending up in harmful situations. Find the love within you and give it to yourself. This card reversed again can sometimes signal a breakup or falling out. There may be a lack of trust. Open up, share, and hold space for one another to express your feelings. This card reversed could indicate delays or that your relationship may have to be kept a secret for some reason. This card reversed can indicate a union or partnership that in theory or on paper should be amazing, but the reality is that there is just no emotional connection. And then your environment or how others see you in your situation, you have the Six of Wands. This is Leo energy. This is all about success, victory, triumph, rewards, recognition, being in the spotlight, being a leader, riding high, having self-confidence, stability, strength, being recognized. It's a card of praise, acclaim, achievement. Again, receiving good news, great news. So this is a card of victory. Whatever you've set your hand to will prosper, and you will be happy with your success. It will be personally satisfying, but it will also be crowned with public recognition in some form, which will make the acknowledgement even sweeter. Okay? You've reached an important milestone, or you've achieved a significant goal, and you feel confident, self-assured, and successful. You harnessed your strengths and talents to bring about a happy outcome in your endeavors, and you made it through the chaos. Not only have you reached your goals, but you are also receiving public acknowledgement for your efforts. You may receive an award, acclaim, or recognition from your peers for your work. And this attention is a big boost to your confidence and gives you the strength to continue your endeavors. Put yourself out there and be proud of what you have achieved. Be open to receiving support. Now is your time to shine, Aquarius. Don't let fear or guilt stand in your way of your success. You've reached an important milestone, but you're not quite at the finish line just yet. You have the support of those around you. They back you 100%. Okay? This card represents triumphing over adversity. Again, it indicates good news and success. It's a card of victory. You've met the challenges to your position, work, or reputation, and you've come through with flying colors. You've overcome or conquered the opposition. Past self-doubt has been resolved, and you're in the process of winning some significant battles. You can expect to succeed and have your desires manifested. Gifts may be received, awards and recognition won. Then your hopes and fears, what you hope for and fear the most in your situation, is the Ten of Swords. This is Gemini energy. So this card is about betrayal again, backstabbing, enemies, bitching, painful endings, betrayal, destruction, severing ties, hitting rock bottom, hitting a wall, having a new understanding, having a fresh perspective. It's a card about playing the victim, seeking attention. So this is what you hope for and or fear the most in your situation. Just again, this is a hard card to get. Just take it how it resonates. This card says that It's over. Number 10, you have fought and worked at it, but you cannot change the situation. You might want to try one more time, but Spirit's saying you have to accept that it's over. It's a strange moment because you thought you'd feel a lot more pain and distress, but actually you feel calm and peaceful because you're relieved that you don't have to fight it anymore. Okay? This card represents a painful yet inevitable ending. You're grieving the pain of this shocking loss and wonder if you will ever love or find work or trust again. You may be the victim of another person's betrayal or deceit. You feel as if you have been stabbed in the back and are reeling from someone else's actions. The pain inflicted runs deep. Your partner may have cheated on you, a colleague may have spread nasty rumors about you, or a family member has betrayed your trust. You know deep down that this marks the end of your relationship as you know it with them. Along with feeling the pain, you may grieve the loss of the relationship. You may be taking the role of victim. Spirit is saying, pick yourself up and move forward with your life. Let go and accept your current circumstances. You no longer resist change. Allow it to happen, is the message from Spirit. Okay? This card marks the beginning of the end of a period of trials and tribulations, but it also signifies the start of a new cycle. First, you have to clear away the debris of the old cycle, and often this process is painful. Stress and exhaustion may accompany the appearance of this card. You need to make a clean break from the past and its attendant pain and suffering. Whether this means a divorce, quitting a job, moving across the country, or changing a belief system. Make the break cleanly, leaving no loose ends, and do away with previous illusions that have clouded your vision, and try not to worry. I think that last that last part is really important. Okay, the illusions message. Then your future, if all is to remain as is, more long-term future, like 3 to 6 months, you have the Two of Swords reversed. So Libra energy, this card's talking about a stalemate, is talking about confusion, indecision, having to choose between the lesser of two evils. There's no right choice. This card could represent emotional turmoil, mental turmoil, holding on to anxiety, holding on to resentment. It could represent overwhelming fears, worry, anxiety, stress. So this card indicates a broken truce or an imbalance in a situation, in an area of your life. It could also mean that a choice is made for you rather than by you. This card is letting you know that the truth will be revealed, okay, or you're going to be able to see the truth. Lies will be exposed. This card talks about emotional detachment, emotional coldness, being emotionally guarded. That's that. I see that for Aquarius. Again, my son is Aquarius. He can come across as emotionally detached, but oh no, they are very biggest hearts, the biggest hearts. The Two of Swords reversed. You're facing a difficult decision and cannot decide which direction to take. You're caught between a rock and a hard space. It feels impossible to make the right decision as you believe either option will lead to negative consequences. You're feeling stuck, unable to move forward, but you may also lack the information you need to make a sound decision. You may be closed off to information that could resolve your dilemma. You might be experiencing information overload. Spirit is saying, take the advice that is the most relevant and helpful. And again, listen to your intuition, Aquarius. Make your decisions based on your own internal compass. You may be at a stalemate with a friend, a loved one, a colleague, or other. You're butting heads. If this resonates, Spirit is saying, look at the situation from a different angle. Try to compromise, or you won't move forward. You're feeling stuck between two competing sides. Decide if you can create peace. If not, just walk away, okay? You may feel helpless to make the necessary changes. One party may be unwilling to admit to the truth of the situation, making discourse impossible, and this may result in deceit, disloyalty, or duplicity. And then your overall energy of your reading is the King of Wands reversed. This is either you, someone in your life, or she can represent a situation. It's Leo energy. The King of Wands reversed can represent a tyrant, someone who is impulsive, overbearing, has impossible expectations, is forceful, domineering, is powerless, ineffective, a weak leader, is volatile, can be a womanizer, someone who breaks promises, is uncooperative, can be a bully, a dictator, can be abusive, nasty, unreliable, someone who sets a bad example, someone who's afraid to be different. Can be a demanding and impatient tyrant. He can be someone who pouts and becomes jealous when he's not the focus of attention. He could also have anger issues. While you are in a leadership position, Aquarius, you're not ready to step into that role just yet. You have not yet developed a sense of comfort with leading others towards your vision. You may need to work on your leadership skills. You may be managing, you may be managing others, but you're not leading them. You may think you are the only person who can make this vision a reality, even when your team is here to support you. At times, the King of Wands reversed can be aggressive and even arrogant in the pursuit of his goals. Be mindful you're not putting others offside, disempowering them, or taking their contributions for granted. Don't let success get to your head, thinking you're above everyone else just because you are the leader. This card also warns you against setting unrealistic expectations for yourself and others. You are highly ambitious, Aquarius, but you may be setting yourself up for failure if you set goals that are significantly out of reach. You may also be prone to get swept up in the hype of other people's goals. You don't have to buy into other people's dreams and visions and hype. Stay true to what's important to you and keep focused on your personal vision and direction. Okay? There may be delays in business or a creative project, but nothing really problematic is standing in your way. And if you're dealing with this King of Wands reversed, Spirit is saying he won't block your efforts, but he won't go out of his way to help you either. He may approve of what you're trying to accomplish on your own and lend moral support, but don't expect overt or tangible assistance. Okay, so that is your reading. If this reading resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. And I was thinking about doing one free reading. If you want to put your name in for a free reading, just put your name under the comment here, and then I'll announce it the next time I do an Aquarius reading, the winner, and I'll email you your messages. The winner, whoever the winner is, I'll email you your messages from Spirit. Okay, thank you for letting me channel these messages today. I'm really grateful. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.